Internet.
Hi.
It's me and Pelicanstar, and we're gonna look at two Bat books today.
Woo! Go Batbook.
Batwoman and Batman Beyond 6 of 6 in the miniseries that isn't a miniseries. First, we want to look at Batwoman number 0, kind of the intro to this new ongoing bit after her run in Detective Comics, which was prior to her bit with Rucka and across a few various things. This is a great little 16-page intro you can pick up for $2.99.
Alright, I'm gonna start us off. This was actually my introduction to the Batwoman character. I never read her run in Detective Comics, although I've been meaning to. I was hoping to find it, cheap for a Black Friday deal, but that didn't happen. Anyway, I have to say, I really liked the setup to this Zero issue, mainly because it starts out with Batman trying to confirm that Kate Kane is Batwoman, and we have him as Batman tracking her as Batwoman, and then as kind of Bruce Wayne disguise stuff following her as Kate Kane, and it was really cool kind of seeing how he kind of was putting things together and testing her out without trying to, be obvious about it. And I found it to be really intriguing and make me a little bit more interested in this character, and I like her crazy evil red hair. It's very fabulous.
Alright, since I had read all the older detective stuff in 52 where she first appeared and some of the other stuff with the Rucka where you put her in, I thought this is our first chance to see Williams write the character really, and it's kind of interesting to see Amy Reeder do the other side with the Kate Kane art, and it's an interesting idea, but this felt, it was 16 pages, so just a little bit more than a preview it felt like, and it just didn't give me much. If you're familiar with this character, this issue is very skippable unless you're very gung-ho about keeping that run, but it's interesting to see how Bruce kind of gauges her up and kind of pulls a Tim Drake on her and figuring out who the character is and who's behind the mask, which is kind of funny that he needs to do that for a Bat-centric character. And I have a feeling it might set up to something, but at the same time, whatever it sets up to in issue 1, I have a feeling will be covered briefly in issue 1 in a way that you wouldn't really miss anything. So overall, with the price point being $2.99, which shouldn't be too high, but 16 pages, I'd say, it's very skippable, and wait till next month where I have a feeling this thing is really going to kick off and take off. It's showing a lot of promise still, but that's it. And for an issue that's supposed to be jump-starting and gathering our interest in being the first one with Batwoman to this character, it's kind of sad to see it kind of be of a getting ready to explode, but not set the charge yet. Alright, the second one we want to look at is, as I said, Batman Beyond 6 of 6. What? To wrap up this mini-series, which it turns out will be leading right into a new ongoing series coming up in a couple of months. Ooh, assuming DC keeps its date and time promise, which maybe. So as always with an issue like this, it's really hard to kind of talk about it without trying to spoil anything, but it's been very interesting to see how Batman Beyond universes kind of collide in the comics. They're trying to take some of the general comic understanding and mix it in, which has been really cool to kind of create this one arc, which I think I was always kind of wanting to see when the cartoon was running, where a lot more of the legacy and a lot more things that had built up throughout the series finally started to pay off and kind of mold into this greater universe idea rather than a few ties here and there, which was fun to see, but I always wanted something with a little more meat and substance, kind of like the Cadmus arc that was in Justice League Unlimited, which, of course, plays a big part here. And it was nice to see all of that kind of here and starting to see those ties, so that if we have a series to go to and continue on with the comic, we know it's going to be possibly a little deeper than something so episodic like the cartoon once was. Of course, my major question left after reading this miniseries is kind of where does the comic understanding really come in, and how different is this than the cartoon? Because there's a couple of things that if you're going to go pace by pace, note for note, don't quite match up with what happened. It's close enough, so, continuity error if you really want to argue it. And I'm very willing to let it go, but it would just be kind of nice to know what page we're on.
So everything that he said was very true, and I don't have too much to add to it, just a couple of little details that I noticed. And as comic readers, we have to suspend a certain amount of disbelief as we read comics. However, when it gets to those little tiny details that I just can't wrap my head around, like, for example, we have very old age, geriatric Dick Grayson show up, and he has an eye patch. But the eye patch isn't attached to anything, it's just, like, the patch on his eye. With most eye patches, there's the string where it goes around your head to stay in place. It's really just like he has a black hole for an eye.
And that's what's keeping you?
And it's irritating.
So, the booster jets, the stealth technology, the villains, the mutants, no.
I can take it. It's his eye patch. The eye patch that doesn't attach anywhere. Unless it's a futuristic eye patch that has drilled into his head and is held in place by this very futuristic claw type thing that...
What about one-sided adhesive?
No, that doesn't do it for me.
No,
that wouldn't work.
No. Present-day technology.
It's gotta be a futuristic claw. Claw in the eye socket.
Okay.
But anyway, so that was one thing. And next bit was, it didn't bother me, but it was just something that's...
Bothering you?
No, it's not bothering me. It's interesting. Shut up. I just found it interesting because it is something with... Because, again, old Dick. And, just kind of the way he acts in this issue is similar, I think, to how he's been being characterized in Batman comics recently. I'm assuming. I haven't read them, but I think it's a safe bet. At least before I stopped reading, he was kind of acting this way, where he was very, very much, acting like Bruce was, very distant and cutting everyone off and being all, no, I'm gonna do this on my own and my way and blah, blah, blah. Bruce is very, very old Bruce is on the comms trying to, talk to Terry and Dick, and in essence he's apologizing to Dick for, years of neglect and whatever, and ruining him. And just overall being an asshole for God knows how many years. Because Bruce has got to be at least 120 in this comic. I mean, he certainly looks it. But anyway, so he's trying to, make amends and apologize, and Dick is having absolutely none of that, and he basically, takes the comm out of his ear, hands it to Terry, and just walks away. And I just thought, wow, what a douche. And I never say that about Dick Grayson, because I love him, but he was very much a douche in this issue. So that was kind of interesting to see him transform into that character as a crotchety old man.
Do you think it worked, though, at the end? Do you think it was earned for him to kind of become a bigger dick than usual?
Like, it was those years and years of resentment and hurt, and...
So it didn't feel forced, like it was just randomly out of nowhere. It was there. It was...
Yeah, I think it was actually well deserved, but it was still just, something interesting to see, and I think that really... I don't know if it could have been done any other way, because they've done it... I've seen it the other way around, where I think it was in a Gotham Knights issue where, Bruce apologized for being an asshole, and Dick was like, it's okay, I forgive you. I forgive you. Where they were at, it seemed justified.
Alright, well, any questions or comments down below, and until next time, same bat channel.
Bye!